Hello, everybody, and welcome to Design Fitness Active Self-Care Awareness Initiative. And today we're going to talk a little bit about, the different styles of self-care. Generally, there are about three. The main one, or the most well-used one, would be the one of the action. So self-care actions, meaning that you're going to set aside some time to do something that is a self-care action. For example, taking time to meditate, taking time to do breathing techniques, taking time for yourself, these kind of things. So the way you should really view these actions are they are self-care actions. That's why they're so appealing. This is the quick version of the self-care environment, if you want to call it something. And because it's the quick version, it's easy to do and you feel restored quickly after doing this thing. However, because it's just a smaller version of the real thing, it fades. So in a day, you could add 5 or 6 of these things, and when you're doing those things, you'd feel really great. However, as soon as they're done or shortly after, you have to replenish them. You have to do another thing. This can lead to the kind of thinking that the more self-care things that I do is the more I'm the master of self-care. And this will really help me feel like I'm restoring myself. However, because they are not truly fulfilling, they have to be continuously consumed. And this is what makes them tricky, right? There's a little bit more that needs to happen for this to actually be self-care. The actions themselves are self-care related, is a better way to think of it. Now, the second version of this is the what I'd call the self-care business model. So in order for there to be an industry around self-care, there has to be some kind of framework outlining what self-care is. And there is such a model, and it kind of borrows from wellness and a few other things. The challenge with this model is it's not made for um, general use. It is just kind of an industry standard or outline. So the model will say something like, well, a person needs to have sufficient information to be able to make sound uh, health decisions. Wow. So this is a really big thing. Well, how does one get sound advice, and what does that mean for the individual? And who's providing this thing? And can I do it myself? Doesn't really answer any of these questions. So you can see where it's more of a model, an outline to say, well, these are good things. However, accomplishing these things is another thing entirely. So I think that's great for setting out the overall idea. And when you have to make it industry standard, very good thing. Moving on to the third version. This is the action version. This is the how do you. This is the real to life, what an individual would actually do to obtain these really great goals or to really get the benefits of those self-care actions. Now, this is the harder version of those things. And because it's harder, it is more worth it. You don't just get it, you have to work towards it. And in accomplishing it, then you get all the benefits, all the good stuff that comes along with these things. Now, in this model, there is self-reflection. Growth is definitely needed to gain these things. And you can't start from anywhere other than where you actually are. Um, so this makes it the trickier version. However, I think all these things are very needed. The tricky version is the version that is most long-lasting. It allows you to create an environment that is revolved around self-care. Therefore, all the benefits of the quick actions are just embedded in your whole lifestyle. So you just will meditate. It is a part of your daily routine. It is not stressful. It's not taking away from anything. It's not on a part of a checklist. It just happens with how you deal with your way of living. However, there's a few more things that you have to think about, but just keeping that as the concept, you can see where the actions then will fit into the day, but is not anything really special or unique. It's just kind of how things go. Now, the idea of this model is there needs to be all of them. There needs to be an industry standard so that we can get more people on the ship or on board with what self-care is about and get other businesses and things involved in building this industry is very important, especially in the 2000s really, but 2019 moving forward. So that is great. The actions are great, and we just need to put in the environment that supports what self-care is, or there's no point in doing any of it. So these are definitely things to look into and things that you should know about the self-care perceptions of things. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you guys next time.